Christmas came out. Or Daly's.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I set it up here. After Daly's, I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, maybe Whitewater has a cool space.
Yeah.
It turned out this green room is gonna work perfect. So we are live on YouTube, not on.
Oh no, not on YouTube. I bet you everyone's watching now.
Everyone's watching, like 300,000 people.
300,000
Yeah,
people on
sure.
YouTube.
Sure.
Wow, where did they all come
300,000 people are watching somewhere else. But,
They're watching some other video. That's what they're
some
doing.
other video, yeah. Are we right up front? I should go this way so I can see it. Yeah, it's good.
This blue logo, I can't remember if I asked you
no.
this. Is this the same blue, like, who does the animation for, was it like those Ice Age movie? That looks like the same, like, maybe they're called Blue Sky, but that looks almost the same.
I don't know. I really like their mics though. They're really good.
And they're so chic.
Now it's working. It's on. Yeah. So, hey everyone at home, welcome to the Keep It Wausome podcast.
They might not be at home. They might be on their phone just walking, like,
Oh yeah.
they might be like kayaking even.
It could be kayaking and watching
Yeah.
my YouTube channel.
Yes.
That seems likely.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's a very awesome thing to do.
We are live from the Whitewater Music Hall in downtown Wausau. We're in the green room. And what color is it, Jared?
It's
Say teal.
It's
Say
teal. Yeah, it's teal.
But,
Yeah.
kind
I'm
of a
sure it's
green
this
room,
color.
mostly green. Yeah, so we're here, and I don't. With me today is Jarrod Crooks. Jared's a pretty cool guy. He does things. What do you do, Jarrod?
I get up in the morning, brush my teeth.
Not like everything. Jesus.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'd be here all day. I like to dabble in
already know
doing
this.
video stuff.
I already know this podcast is gonna suck.
It's already terrible.
It's already bad.
That kayak guy shut it off. He's like, I'm just gonna focus on this.
It's like maybe the birds are better than this.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
crazy noise. Yeah, but no, you do film.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
love it.
awesome.
And I've been doing it for a long time. I started when I was 12 years old
12
and
years old.
just
Wow.
kept at it.
Wow.
It's been a journey.
So I got a few things to read before I get to my guest here. You'll have to wait patiently and listen to me read some ads.
Oh, ads. Oh, I thought you were going to read a book.
Don't worry, mostly just pull up War and Peace.
Yeah, before we get
done.
started.
One moment. So, Whitewater Music Hall has Becky Buller and the Foragers coming up November 29th. That's a Friday, so that's exciting. I guess they're a really good band. That one's a little more expensive, but they're pretty
When you're
talented.
good, you got to pay more.
Yeah, and then Christmas My Way, which is being produced by the Out of the Woods Theater. Got some cool people doing that.
Do I know
Have you
what
ever
it is?
Have you ever seen any of their productions?
I don't think so, no.
It's pretty cool that we have these theater companies forming in town.
I like to go and see more theater. I don't get around to doing that a whole lot. And now,
Yeah.
I just heard that Sarah's retiring.
Yeah.
She's a huge part of the community as far as like theaters go, and so that's really unfortunate. But
Yeah, she's actually. I mentioned you in our interview. She's actually a big fan of yours.
Oh well,
And
I'm
she-
a fan of hers. Now
Nice.
it works out.
Nice. I'm actually thinking like we should figure out a way to do some collaboration. That would be.
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
and I wonder what she.
Yeah.
So what did she say? What she's gonna do now that she's retiring? I'm sorry, this is probably way
No,
off topic.
No, that's all right. Our podcast goes way off topic. That's
Yeah.
fine. So she is going to be she's probably going to do something at UW-SP Wausau.
Okay.
She doesn't know what yet exactly, but they're going to keep her doing some kind of theater because
It's so sad that did I understand that it's like there's not going to be a theater program anymore?
no.
That's just
Yeah,
breaks
I
my
guess,
heart really,
Right, I know.
honestly.
most of the productions she was doing were like 95% community members or
That's what I'd heard.
high
Yeah.
schoolers or
Yeah.
past alumni and such. So she didn't really have many theater students. In fact, I believe she said she wasn't even teaching any theater classes in Wausau. Like she was going down to.
But the
Point to
class
teach
still
them.
existed. They just didn't come here to.
I think the program existed, so they were like still putting on productions. And I don't think that's gonna happen anymore.
No, it doesn't
No.
sound that way. But yeah.
Anyway, Out of Woods Theater.
Yeah.
That is December 5th through the 7th. That's a Thursday through a Saturday. I got a kick out of it because the first production I saw or took some pictures at, they were doing Into the Woods.
Okay.
So the Out of the Woods Theater was doing Into the Woods.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So clever how
Confusing.
they do that.
Holiday Makers Market coming up December 8th. That's a Sunday. That's pretty exciting.
You gonna go?
I might, yeah. Get some Christmas presents for the family.
Oh yeah, that's right. Christmas is coming up.
You just show up and they're all in one place.
I already
Look at
bought
stuff.
my presents for my nephew, and that's all I
Wow.
really. The rest of the family, I'm like, whatever.
The heck with them.
The
Yeah.
heck with them all. Yeah.
Is your nephew is like Ninja Turtle stuff?
Some DuckTales.
Yes.
Yeah, the new
DuckTales.
DuckTales action figure playset thing. So.
Oh man,
yeah,
that is
he'll love
awesome.
it. Yeah.
I kind of want that too. And then Windsor Drive. Jared, do you know Windsor Drive?
That yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that I'm
So
familiar.
they're all back together.
Oh, wow,
They had
okay.
kind of gone and did some were doing one of the guys was doing like studio work, I guess. Another one was doing real estate. I mean, they kind of like
So kind of like the Beatles, they went off and did their own thing, but they're actually coming back together.
kind of like the Beatles, but they're coming back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So that's they're having their album release party December 14th. So that's what that's all about.
Nice.
That is on a Saturday. And so, if you want to know more about Whitewater Music Hall and if you want to buy tickets or anything like that, find them on Facebook, Instagram, or I don't know if they're on Twitter.
Should have asked before you.
Probably not. I didn't
They don't seem like the Twitter type.
I see them on Instagram and Facebook. That's good enough.
Yeah.
And also at www.whitewatermusichall.com. Remember, if you like this video, like and subscribe. You can do that on your YouTube device.
Just do it. Do it now. It's so simple.
Do it now.
I've seen people. Yeah, I'll do it. Get serious.
Get to the subscribe button. Okay, enough terrible Arnold impressions.
Yeah. What are we doing?
So, and also find this on iTunes and Spotify and leave us a really good review. Don't leave us a 1-star review. That's mean.
That is mean.
That is mean.
That is mean.
So anyway, I'm here with
Yeah.
Jarrod Crooks.
What is it? Are we finally getting started?
Yeah, well, you're kind of helping me through the other parts.
I felt like I distracted you from.
Yeah, right. That's okay.
All right.
I think it made it interesting.
Yeah.
I think so anyway. Maybe everyone's like, what is this garbage?
Okay.
So Jarrod is a returning guest.
Yeah, I was on your other podcast, which was kind of like the same podcast, but this is a different one. It's got a different title, so it's like
Right.
a totally different show.
Different place.
Yeah. This is the teal room, and the other one was kind of really actually that was a really dark room. Very.
It was very dark.
Moody.
Yeah, I would have had to buy lights to do the live stream, so I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah. Thanks for this fluorescent light we have here.
It's very bright. Yeah. So Jarrod was my very first guest.
Victim.
On Live at Daly. The victim is a way to put it too.
Yeah. First victim.
He came on and it was good because I had no idea what I was doing.
No, you got to give yourself a little credit, man. Like, I mean, you're
Well, now
wildly prepared.
now I have a smidgen of know-how in
Yeah,
this
right.
field. Like, I mean, I got that. Well, I have a better phone now, so I can do the live streaming. That's pretty cool.
I think a good phone is everything, and,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean,
It
that's-
actually is.
everybody's just doing a video on their phone now because the cameras are getting so good. And I was just having a debate with somebody who, works at Cellcom, saying like, oh, it's just so frustrating when people talk to me about like, I want to film it on my cell phone. That's so, and I have like a nice professional camera, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's like, no, the phones on the cell phones they're getting so good now, and it's just like, why am I even bothering with spending all this money on this high end gear? When this is the debate that I have to deal with.
Well, especially with honestly with this phone too. I mean, I've used it I've used it for work now.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
it has with the portrait mode you can actually get bokeh. Oh, and that's one of the cool things about Streamlabs that I'm using too is that you can select which camera.
There's more than one
The
camera on
pointy-
this.
Yeah, there's
Because
like
I know
there's
they have
like
those with
four.
the three now. The three, like the telephoto, the wide, and the.
Yeah, so this one has the 50 millimeter equivalent.
Oh,
of the
okay. You get a little
then-
depth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can get some depth. You can get some bokeh.
It's crazy.
Get some blurred background.
That's
It's not
it.
obviously it's not as good as my cameras, but
See, and then that thing that's always gonna be the thing. It's like people
Mhm.
like who don't know about like really holding like
Right.
a real solid, high quality camera. That they're just like, no, look at it. It's like, let's see it on a big screen. Let's blow this thing up.
right.
you
That's
know?
that's true too.
So.
Yeah. I wonder if one day though, because now I've heard that in the world of photography, that it's really starting to drift towards mirrorless.
Oh yeah.
Like I think Dave was talking about this, and I don't remember what he said. I guess I could listen to my own podcast, but I don't listen to that crap.
Yeah, right.
But Dave was saying, I think it was at Nikon or Canon said that they're not gonna make. I think it was Nikon isn't gonna make DSLRs anymore. They're going fully mirrorless.
I can see that, and actually, it gets really confusing when some people are saying like, "Do you use a DSLR?" And I'm like, "Well, if I was going to use that type of camera for video, it would be mirrorless." I think that people are confused a little bit what DSLR is compared to what mirrorless is. They just see that camera and they're like, "Oh, a DSLR." I was like, "Well, not technically, no, it's mirrorless."
Technically, no.
Yeah, but they don't. A lot of people don't know the difference.
Well, like I always said, and no matter what camera you have, the camera doesn't take the picture.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
Cameras, you know, your phone, your camera. It's not going to do composition. It's not going to do lighting.
Right.
I mean, they do a little bit now, kind of, but not really.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't know to look for the light source. It doesn't know about background, foreground. You know, it doesn't know these things. So you know, the skills of photography. Your device doesn't know that. You know that.
Right.
So you take a good photographer and hand them an iPhone 4, and they can still get a great photo. They're going to be much more limited, but they can still find a way to make art.
Right. Right.
And that's where I think people don't understand. I think a lot of people think that if you just hand you a really expensive camera, you're going to take great photos. And
No.
you know,
In fact, I think it gets a little bit harder. Because there's just more
for sure.
involved.
Well, when I first started photography, I was shooting on the Nikon D4, which is like a full frame professional camera that belonged to work, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I basically had it on. I had it on automatic, which, you know, I don't know any photographers that shoot on automatic.
No, and I don't even shoot video like on automatic. Everything is manual focus, iris, and the shutter. Everything is. I like to do that and be in control of that.
Yeah, because that's where it starts opening up, like what you can really do with the device. Yeah. And speaking of, so what that video camera you have, is that like a really good one?
It's good enough.
Good
No,
enough,
it's good.
It's cool and red looking. I know that.
Yeah, it is. It's got the little red panel there.
Looks like something a professional would have.
If you're a professional, you have red on the side. I like it. It's good. I mean, it's obviously there's much higher end, cameras that you can get. You know, I think, like, okay, so if you're like a real, true professional, I think you want to get something where you can like swap out the lenses, and there are cameras you can do that. I mean, the Red is like really like an elite camera. Like I think they're up to like the Dragon, maybe even higher than that now. But yeah, the Red Dragon. It's Hollywood shoots on this camera. It's like I think it's even above shooting in 8K now. It's like just
8K. Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, this is a fine camera, and if you're like a kind of beginner, you can get through it just fine. But then once you get into the Red, it's like running a computer that's a camera. It's crazy complicated. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So the Red Dragon is the big fancy. Is that the one you referenced in Indie Guys?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
it is. Okay.
One. Yeah.
I thought I remember something red, but
in fact, there was a couple scenes that were shot on the Red for that movie.
Really?
And it is kind of comparable. I mean, like when you're just looking at it like on your phone or even like on your home TV, it's hard to tell. I mean, you can kind of match colors and get things to look similar, but when you get on the big screen, wow, it's like you can really see the difference. It's incredible, and that's why Hollywood shoots their movies on
Yeah,
there.
no, it makes sense. Well, how did you get a hold of one? How did that?
I know a couple people that. I don't want to say they own them because they're so incredibly expensive. Like just the body for one is like $50,000.
Wow.
And that's not even including like the lenses that you want to get and all the gizmos and gadgets that you can attach to it. But it is so expensive. Nobody usually buys one; they rent one.
That makes sense.
So.
$50,000. Whew.
Yeah, so you should probably get one.
Yeah, right. That's,
making all this money from this podcast.
$dollars. Yeah. Yeah, $50,000. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I knew a guy who had gotten a job at a TV station. He had gone back between print and TV news. Got a job at a TV station first day out with the camera, dropped it.
No.
He's gone.
No.
Lost his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tragic, isn't it?
It's so tragic. And I want to say that the cameras that the TV stations typically buy, they would probably average between like 10,000 and 15,000. But I've also seen really low stations have like cameras that are cheaper than mine.
Really?
I have.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So and I'm not gonna name them, but yeah, they do.
Well, in my last job, they got us iPhone 4s because they wanted us to do video. Now, granted, none of us had any video training.
Mhm.
We were just sort of handed.
Why is this a thing that people think like here, you can do this. You know what you're doing. Like where does this come from?
I know, it's crazy. Well, they wanted us to take our photos on it too.
Yeah.
And so that's actually how I got into photography.
Oh, okay.
But I think their thought pattern was that these video ads like pay pretty well for what as far as the platforms that they were using, like better than the other digital advertising. And so their idea was, well, you just give them phones, they'll go take some video and people will watch them. You know, they mostly looked horrible. They're bad videos.
Right.
And what I learned though is that people kind of didn't care. They kind of cared what the subject matter was. So
when you're dealing with something like that, but I'll tell you, if the quality was better, you can make them care a little more, I think, or at least keep their attention longer.
Yeah. Well, okay. Quality is the wrong word, but let me put it differently. So I would do like these produced videos that would go with a story, you know, as far as I could anyway. You know, and I go through iTunes and I edit it and do little look lives where I'd actually be talking to the camera, as well as doing voiceover narration. You know, so I'd spend like 2 hours on one of these videos and I get like 20 hits. And then I would go to like a crash scene and just like take video of the crash scene. And it would get thousands of hits.
Well, yeah, it's the content obviously.
The content is big.
That's a
you're right that video quality would be good for other reasons. Or, you know,
I think that, well, you know, using that example, yeah, if you go film like a car crash or the aftermath of one, and you're just, people are like, whoa, what happened?
Right.
But when you're trying to engage somebody into something that they're not necessarily interested in, you need to be very creative and compelling in order to get them to be like, oh, I want to know more.
Well, here's maybe a better way to put it. Like, none of us were filmmakers.
Yeah, right.
So whatever we were gonna do, whether we put a lot of effort in or not, was gonna suck, right? So it seemed like it would make more sense to simply focus on the things we knew would get hits that required a low amount of input.
Sure, absolutely.
I guess that's where I was kind of coming from.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I do get what you're saying. Yeah. Well. And speaking of indie guys, this is not it, but I have I don't know if you noticed, but I have like a collection of Wausome themed things here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
nearby. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah,
that movie that was going to be made, but they never made it.
That's true. That never happened. Yeah, you were right about that. But this is Dispatched. I'm pointing up to the camera, but you can't see it on the podcast. But this is what, the third movie or second movie?
We'll go with that's the third.
The third. Yeah. Starring Jarrod Crooks. You got a little.
What a goof.
I mean, a little narcissistic there, huh? You get the filmmaker and you gotta put
it's
yourself.
Like, I'm gonna start my own movie.
Jeez,
because I'm the best.
No, this was a fun movie though. I liked it.
It was fun to make, and you know, it's always interesting to look back on these things.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I bet it is.
You know, you grow and learn every time you do it, and then when you're so involved in it, it's hard to really take a step back and look at it until like years later, and you're just like, oh man, it's what a disaster. I mean, I feel like it is, you know, but it's still, to the average viewer, somebody's just sitting down and be like, this is a $5,000 movie? Well, this is not too bad. But if they don't know, and you're comparing it to Hollywood, it's garbage.
Well, I thought your last film looked like, Indie Guys looked like it could have been in a movie theater. You know what I mean?
I felt like it was a step up, but again, you know, but it's just taking that step back and looking at it and be like, wow, you know, it's just the certain parts that always get to me. But
really, yeah. I mean, I guess I thought when I saw it, I thought, wow, this looks like this looks like this could be a small budget Hollywood film. Obviously not a big budget.
And it was
one,
very
but it
very
was,
small budget.
It was very small budget.
Everything that I don't think anything really exceeds $5,000, and the actors that are involved, they do it for free because some of them actually do want to work with me because they just like the work that I do.
Mhm.
So, oh wow.
Oh yeah, this is a feature of the podcast.
Oh wow, that the light just goes off. That's
yeah, the light
awesome.
goes off, isn't it?
Okay, all right, that's cool.
This is it's part of my. I decided it's part of my shtick.
It's like that one Super Bowl. Do you remember that one Super Bowl when the power went out?
Oh yeah.
That's what this is. It's like the Super Bowl of podcasts.
At least no one's throwing a football at your head for 90 miles an hour, however fast they throw it. I don't know, how fast do they throw footballs?
Man, I don't know if they
Not
can-
90.
90 miles an
That's
hour.
Like that's like a baseball fastball.
Yeah, I don't think.
How fast do you think they go? Aaron Rodgers, he's got to be chucking that thing.
Yeah, it depends on the
60?
throw, but yeah, maybe I'd be
I
interested
would want
to.
to catch one of his throws.
Well, Brett Favre used to break fingers,
Yeah, I know.
so it's got to be pretty fast.
Yeah, I don't want to catch one from him either. Even now, I bet he would break your finger.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think what, because I feel like this too, you know, Dave and I talked about this because you get that cycle on Facebook where it pops up old stuff, and for us, it's always popping up our old photos, and you see stuff, and you're like, it's been interesting because the 5-year mark of photography for me kind of hit recently, so I started seeing some of my first photos. I was like, oh man, that's not good.
Yeah, right.
You know, I can't.
And that's how I feel about this stuff. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I feel, and I can never focus on just one thing because I'm involved in every aspect of it. That's where I think the problem comes in, is that okay? So I'm acting, directing, writing, editing. So it's like I've never been able to just grow quickly in one area, like the technical aspects of things, like really becoming a great cinematographer, because I'm just what do you want to say? How do you say that? Master of none and whatever.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
that?
jack of all trades.
Jack of all
master
trades.
none,
Yeah, so that's what it is. It's like I can do it all, but I'm not a master in any of it, and so it does kind of like bring the production down a little bit, in my opinion.
You can definitely see the progression from each feature film, though, for sure.
Yeah, right. So, but it's slow baby steps, you know.
Yeah, well,
At least that's how I feel.
I mean, well, you do so much on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Or wherever else, you know, that's kind of the platform to share things. But
Yeah.
you're always doing like these short films too.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like you're practicing, and then when you get to the feature film, you know.
Yeah, I don't know when the next feature is gonna be. I don't even know.
There's got to be another one.
There will be another one. It's just how long down the road.
Yeah.
Because something's got. But I don't know how much I'll be doing the action stuff anymore. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, it's just.
I'm getting bad back.
I'm just getting old.
Getting
Tired
traction.
all the time.
Like,
Yeah. I want to take care of myself.
Grandpa
so.
Fu, that's your next film.
That's it. It is Grandpa Fu at 35 years old.
Like, you damn kids.
That's it. It's Gran Torino. That's what
Gran
it is.
Torino.
I just tell
You're
people,
right, they already made it.
Yeah, I just tell people to get off my lawn, and there's no fight scene.
That reminds me, I still gotta pick up a real copy of Indie Guys so I can have it.
Did I not give you one? I should have brought one.
Well, you gave me like the DVD, but
Oh, yeah.
like a copy.
Oh, I'll give you the
Yeah.
Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
That way, yeah. I have a bunch. They're not selling. They're not a hot ticket
Really?
item. No,
I should-
but
I
I
should
also
buy-
don't try to sell
Yeah, well, I think you should. I mean, I think they're good. I really do.
them. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I always said, you know me, I make fun of you all the time.
I know.
I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it.
I think that's why you're such a good friend, is because I think you need to be honest with
I'm
your
pretty
friends.
honest,
And
yeah.
be like, you know what, you suck, man.
Right.
that's just, it's okay, just keep doing it, but you're terrible.
No, actually, it was a lot of fun when I worked on Bitch Slapped again.
Yeah, thanks for doing
was
that.
that 2 summers ago now? Was that last summer?
Yeah, not this summer, but the last, yeah.
Wow.
I know, holy crap. did
Feels
that
like
go fast?
it was a few months ago or something.
Yeah, it was already a year, over a year.
So that was a lot of fun. I played a very convincing thug.
Yeah, what did you take out of that as far as like the overall experience?
You know, it was crazy because, you know, you hear about actors talking about this if you hear them on podcasts and stuff, but it was kind of that experience of like there's a lot of downtime, you know. So you come in for the day, and it's like your spot might come up in an hour. You don't really know, especially with the action scenes. You know, you never know how long those are gonna take.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really interesting. It was interesting for me to do that and have that experience. What surprised me was that I still really had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, even
Even
though
with all the waiting.
even though like 80 to 90% of it was like sitting in the green room waiting.
One of the things I really enjoy about the filming thing is you're
Mhm.
always meeting like new people and working with new people, and I think that keeps it
Mhm.
interesting and fresh because, and maybe that is what might have made it interesting for you is that you're during the downtime you're getting to meet and talk with new people, and
Yeah.
usually they're very creative mindsets
It's
that
a
these
very-
people have. So.
Well, it was a very interesting cast that we had.
Yeah.
We had two people who were like doing the whole Hollywood, trying to make it in Hollywood thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kimmy Harris. Shout out to Kimmy if she's watching. She'll watch later. We'll tag her.
She won't
She's
watch.
gonna watch. No. She's gonna watch it.
No, she's gonna leave a comment, be like, Jarrod, how dare you? Of course I'm watching.
You son of a gun. Yeah. And what was the other guy's name?
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in this like Batman and Robin thing on
Mhm.
YouTube,
Yep.
and she's filming something right now too. I saw.
Yeah, they're really they've been trying to make a go at it for a while, and that was always a dream of mine was to go out to California and like do that. But, I've really kind of, in a way, lived out my dream, making movies, being in movies and doing the acting thing, and I probably wouldn't have had those opportunities if I went to California and like focused. So
Yeah.
in a way, I'm like, I lived it out a little
Right.
bit. But yeah, I didn't work with any like big stars or big Hollywood budgets.
Yeah.
But the chances of that are just like, well, slim to none. That's
Yeah,
like,
you can always say Jerry Springer was in one of your films.
That's true,
your
too,
latest
yeah.
one. I mean, that's pretty cool.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
first celebrity, and like me directing an actual celebrity. I mean,
Right.
Jerry Springer. So.
So we had Kimmy and had Jordan, and then we had Scott Baralt. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah,
Baralt?
yeah.
Who was like a pro wrestler
Mhm.
and an actor.
Yeah, and he's a big personality.
He's big in so many ways. Like that's just a big dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he was hilarious. And then your other random assortment of fellows that you have in your
Yeah, the people that constantly keep coming back for more punishment,
Yeah.
like Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
I think every time Randy's in a movie, I'm like, all right, Randy, I am gonna beat you up now in this moment. And he still signs up every time. He's like,
That's,
yeah, all right.
that's amazing. Yeah, you know who else needs a big shout out is your girlfriend too, because she's always behind the scenes on the camera.
Yeah, she helps a great deal and does everything that I'm surprised that she keeps coming back as well.
Yeah, she's just like never complains. She's just like she's there the whole
Well,
time.
not when she's there.
Oh, she complains
doesn't.
later. You gotta get it at home. Huh?
Yeah, right. Like, how dare you? No, not at all.
Yeah, but there was some cool action in that movie, the short film.
Yeah, I mean, I try to get creative, and I think that's something that's really hard too. Is when you have a limited budget. I mean, of course, it does make you more creative, but also there's only so many ways you can throw a punch or throw a kick. So it's like, well, how are you going to make it interesting this time? Because I've already done it a bunch of other times in some other films. So that's a challenge in itself. Like, what hasn't been done? I think everything, maybe, but then you come up with ways to make it different.
Yeah, but I don't know if even people care that much about it.
Probably not.
I mean, as long as the action is really cool, it's fine if you already saw that movie, because it's always going to be in a different sequence.
Yeah.
And you like to use that Jackie Chan influence to use different things that you find in the environment.
Well, and I like to try to build the fight around the story, and that Bitch Slapped Again was a great example of that because we're having a discussion while fighting. So like fighting up people and then talking to the girlfriend character, and so that I think that makes it interesting. So you're getting story and action literally at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So if people haven't seen it, I get knocked out at the end. We decided I didn't get killed, right?
Yeah, right.
I just knocked out.
Right. You just got this big hole in your head. Yeah.
So I was laying next to Kimmy while she was supposed to throw this like pretend brick at Scott's character, who's like this big gigantic guy, and so it was really interesting to kind of lay there and like watch her work and watch Scott work, and just kind of see that process and how it goes through. But
yeah,
I think the most impressive move was when she does that thing where she puts her legs on around Scott's neck and then does the flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of downplayed that, but I'm like, dude, that's badass. Like,
yeah.
Like that kind of stuff is hard to do.
Right.
And with concrete there, I know you guys had the mattress.
We had a baby mattress is what it was.
Was it a baby
It
mattress?
was so small.
Oh my god.
And like him trying to like just hit that point, it's like, here's the mattress. Because it was like it wasn't a baby, it was a single, you know.
Like a twin? Was that the one that?
Yeah, like a twin.
Oh,
yeah.
that was the one that was in back, yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, I kept getting mad at the guys I was doing that chaos scene with. Because I was gonna do like a flip from, because I learned that in Aikido.
Yeah.
I wanted to do like a flip where I go kind of like flying, but they kept standing there. And I was like,
sure.
I want to do a flip here. And like, I did it once, and like, they didn't get like, oh, he's gonna do a flip here, so I shouldn't stand there.
They were,
I was like frustrated.
I think it's probably because also in that moment, there wasn't like a great deal of directing. It was kind of letting those actors do it, and then they just unless you direct them, they don't. Even, they're just like doing their own thing.
Well, also it didn't matter because I realized after I watched the finished film, like you would have seen it anyway.
Oh yeah. That's probably why I didn't say anything. I'm like,
the one spot in that scene, I'm like walking around like, what's happening?
you're just a goon, you know, whatever. It's like just cheap help for the bad guy.
So I mean, that's the thing I learned too, is like acting seems like it would be so simple, and especially like, you know, I like to like mimic scenes from movies and stuff, and I think I can get the action and the inflection right. But it's one thing to mimic something; it's another to create it.
Yeah.
And it was way more challenging. Even the simplest stuff was way more challenging than I thought it would be.
I was working on a project just recently here, and so I get the script, and I'm just an actor. Also, it's really hard to just be an actor sometimes in other people's projects when you understand the process so well.
Yeah.
But I got these monologues, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just an unbearable amount to remember. And I mean, and there's parts where I'm kind of asking the director, I was like, because he also wrote it, and it's like, this here doesn't, can I change this, or, you know, and sometimes they're so, like, just strict.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't want don't move any of my dialogue. It's like,
no.
And it's like, and sometimes it gets clunky, because if you're not used to speaking a certain way, and I'm not having months to prepare, I'm having like a week. You know, and that's one thing with theater. They spend like 2 or 3 months prepping and practicing before they go live on stage.
Yeah.
You know, and I usually get like a week to go, like sometimes even a couple days. Like, here's the script, I want you, and here's these monologues. And it's like, okay, so you get on script or you get on set. Some people don't even do rehearsal. You know, it's just like, all right, here we go. I hope you got your lines memorized, and then you go, and you just hope to God that it comes out okay.
Well, the other thing I realized about it too is that, at least for me, I am projecting way less than I think I am. Like I would, some of the lines I haven't had a lot of lines in them, but the ones I have, I think I'm being like super dynamic, and then I watch myself on film and I'm like, I look like I'm stiff as a board. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's. I think that's something that just takes time or being comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. But then in the Jackie Chan one, I was like way overboard.
But that you could be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of that thing is just a goof thing anyway. Yeah.
Maybe it's just like that thing where you hate your own voice, like.
Then
I don't
you
know,
get used to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I sound very different, like on the phone when I hear myself like in a voice message or something compared to like on camera.
Oh man, you ever get that feedback where you're calling somebody and then you hear yourself like 2 seconds later?
And then you go and throw up in your mouth.
And you're like, shut up, me.
Yeah, it's terrible. You're like, oh wow, I didn't know it was that annoying. I'm sorry people have to listen to me.
Yeah, I know, right? No, but I love the experience. I'd love to do more.
Yeah, I hope to do more.
To be hint.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm writing a script right now. Brian is in it. Here we go. It's just
perfect.
Yeah, I want to do some more. I probably will be doing more short films before doing feature films. But I do like the feature film, because it's so much more rewarding. It takes a lot longer. It usually takes about 2 years, but then you can put it on the big screen and you have a big premiere. And I don't do that with the short films. I just put them on YouTube. But some people do make a big deal about their short films. Some people do have premieres for them. But I treat them like it's a learning lesson. It's just like an experiment. And
yeah, we kind of did like a Facebook, like a kind of a virtual screening for Bitch Lab 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if it went over
and you
that
did
well.
come over We had like a screening.
Oh, we had, like,
but it wasn't
yeah.
like the. I think I was still doing some final touches.
Well, that was I think that was more like a cast. It was more like a cast.
Yeah.
For the cast that were in there, right?
Right.
Of course, Kimmy and Jordan were back in
Yeah,
Cali, but
and we weren't. They probably wouldn't even make it to the
That's
premiere
more
for that.
of a-
But it's
yeah.
like, you know,
that was more like a little
movie.
get together party kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, that was nice though. I like that.
Maybe sometime I'll just do like a big festival and just show all the short films I've done. But
I think that'd be fun.
I don't know who would show up to that. Come to me. Come to my thing.
Yeah. Hey, you could probably do that here. I mean, they got the music hall that we're screening a documentary in about an hour, 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that's 6 tonight.
You made it?
No, definitely not. No one should see a documentary. I mean,
You should not
actually, I did sort of think about getting. I'm like, well, I have this phone now that takes decent video. Like, I could start doing like local documentaries, but
There you go.
you know, time is sort of an issue there. So
I did think about doing a documentary once, but obviously it's only going to be about the world that I know and live in, but about independent film. I know Indie Guys is kind of like that, but it's it's fictional.
right.
But I want to sit down and interview people, one who I've worked with, but then other people who work in the independent scene, just to talk about it and really, show people like what it's like and how hard it is, and like the perception of it I think is sometimes way off.
Yeah.
Because I think so, especially when there's people are seeing you working, like, oh, what are you doing, making a movie, and these kind of things, and there's not a lot of respect for it.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, what do you think about? So I mean, Kevin Smith was like the indie guy in the '90s, and
Yeah.
him and Quentin Tarantino were like the two. He talked about independent films and guys who were like making it. It was.
And I think that was like the height of like independent, because now so many people that you can't. It's like YouTube. You can't even find, like, there's gems on YouTube, but you can't find them.
Right.
And I think it's the same thing with film. It's like, because everybody can get access to quality equipment now at a relatively cheap price, but how do you stand above that? Well, you gotta now get a star in your movie,
Yeah.
and these kind of things.
Now it's marketing.
And marketing is huge, because there's so much marketing.
So much.
And there's so much social media. How do you get seen? I mean, that's why like these, when you see the costs of marketing on even like these Disney films and stuff, it's crazy.
Crazy,
Millions and millions, not even just like $1 million. We're talking about like I think it was like hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes for marketing. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. So with indie guys, like, how much marketing did you put together? None.
Well, it's newspapers and TV. That's how we do it.
Right.
Yeah. And Facebook. But like even the people that follow or like indie guys on Facebook, it's so small. Maybe we have 500 people, maybe. Yeah, and that's another thing. Even going to newspapers, and we hit up quite a few, and they did stories because they found it interesting, and they wanted to support that art. But it's just like, even if you get the story out there and you get eyes on it, people watch it on TV, they see the story, they're aware of it. But you know how many people come to watch it?
Yeah.
Next to nobody.
Yeah.
Maybe you get like 3 or 4 or 5 people, like from any given like information they see about it. Like if they see it on the news, you might get 5 people, maybe.
Right.
That's really small.
It is. Yeah.
But if it's an event that you can take like a family to, like that they have like an event in Wausome similar to the thing they do on the square, the concerts on the square. Well, that's different, because it's like you're there supporting the band, but you're also there doing your own thing.
Yeah.
When you come to watch a movie, it's like you're just there to support them, or you really like independent film, and that's.
I still think there's potential to do like a screen on the green.
And that's at the. And where did you say that was now?
Well,
I know
Wausome does them on the 400 block sometimes, but also Cronin Wetter. And I actually talked to some people out there and asked if they'd be interested in something like that, and they sounded interested. So maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely,
future.
and if it's free, and but it's you'd want to get people to come to those things, and I think that
Then you gotta have some merch to sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like definitely like a
DVDs
T-shirt with my face on it.
Maybe Randy's. Have you X'd out?
Yeah, with me.
Randy.
No more Jarrod. No more Jarrod.
That's great. Yeah, so the YouTube thing is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is. But before we get to that, the reason I brought up Kevin Smith is, have you seen what he's doing with his latest film?
Which one? The remake of Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot.
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I don't know, but specifically what you are going to bring up, I don't know.
Well, so what he's doing, so he was talking, and he was on a podcast with Joe Rogan. He was talking about the distribution channels and how that works, and what a pain in the butt it is to do yourself. Like, they take so much money out of it that you're almost left with so little money when you're done. So what he's doing instead, and he's got such a big platform now. Like, so many people know him. He does like 5 podcasts or something like that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that dude loves to talk. I mean, loves to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask him one
and
question.
he's good at it, though. I've seen
he's
him.
Very good
yeah,
at it.
He's
very
good.
Entertaining.
He's a great storyteller.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, he's like, this is what I can do. You know, put a mic in front of me, and I'm good for a podcast or 2, or like 3,000. So what he's doing, him and Jason Mewes are basically traveling the country.
Okay.
And they're doing their film as an event. So people buy tickets. You go to the event, watch the film with them, and then they talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, and I think that's what I kind of, when I was marketing Indie Guys, if you will, the marketing, we wanted to treat it like that. That's not just, you're not just going to watch a movie. You're coming to an event. You're going to be able to meet like the cast and crew and talk to them afterwards, and and everybody who like would come, we'd go to like have a little after party like at a bar or something, and you're invited to that too. Mm-hmm. And you can actually hang out with cool people.
Well, see, that's what I think would be cool here, because you could show it. They have a 55-inch screen TV.
Yeah.
On site. That's where we're using the screen documentary tonight.
Okay.
And then they have so the way it's set up, the music hall, it's like a big open space in the middle. There's the stage, and then on the sides, there's like 2 rows of theater seating. So what they're going to do is slide up the TV so it faces one of the 2 rows, and then people will just sit in the 2 rows of theater seating to watch the documentary.
Yeah, I had a friend who showed a film in Madison and at a bar, and it was the same kind of situation. But the bar had like a number of different TVs, so like there were some people sitting here to watch it, and then over there. So and that actually worked really well. So not everybody was huddled around one TV. Oh, yeah. So that's.
Yeah, in this case, I mean, it's almost set up like a little slice of a theater or something. It's kind of cool. So.
But 55 inches, that's not that big.
Well, I suppose not, but you're pretty close. I mean, it's not, you're not like you're watching 40 feet away. I mean, it's going to be 10 feet in front of you. So
right.
Or however we need to.
But I'm just saying, 80 inches, that would be bigger.
80 is bigger than 55. Thanks for pointing that out.
It's just math. It's just math.
It's just math. That's fine.
You know about math. You've done it once.
So I wanted to ask, So before the YouTube switched it, so you had to have 1,000 subscribers to make any money on it. Did you have any income coming in from it?
No. Okay, so when they finally had my friend Randy had monetized his videos, I was like, wow, how'd you do this? This was back 2011, maybe 2010, something like that. And he's talking about monetizing. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. He's like, very simple. You do it like this. And I was like, okay, so I set it up. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get
coming in.
I want to get paid money now, and so like I would watch my own videos sometime, right? And YouTube / Google is able to like recognize when you're watching your own stuff. So then I get an email, and it's like, we realize that you've been watching your own videos to try to drive up revenue for you to make money. And I'm like, what? And it's like, so we are discontinuing your monetization. And I'm like,
really?
Okay. So then years later, because this was like again 2010 or 11, I decided, okay, I'm gonna appeal this, and I appealed it just a couple of years ago. Because I'm like, maybe I can get monetized again. But now I don't have 1,000 subscribers anyway. Actually, it was just before they decided to switch that. Yeah, I was gonna appeal it, and they're like, no. I'm like, okay. Then they did the 1,000 subscribers. So maybe I'm thinking, well, maybe it was just because of the 1,000 subscribers thing coming up, it didn't make a difference. But yeah, they're always doing something to prevent them from paying you. I don't even know why they did monetizing anyway, if that's the case.
Well, that's crazy, because I know they're really strict on that stuff. So, I've had a couple blogs now. My most recent one is frugalwheels.com. Check it out. But I know they're really strict about clicking on your ads, but it would be ridiculous if I couldn't see my content. I I mean, I go to my site to like make sure it's all working every once in a while, and also that's how I get my links usually. And,
Well,
but it's easy for me not to click on one. But if you're watching your own videos, like you can't not watch the ad, right?
You got me and whoever was, deciding on that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I never saw any money.
Right.
To answer your question.
You never got a cent on it.
No, but I do get paid from Amazon monthly
Oh,
still.
really?
Not a lot, because I have a few things on Amazon, like including Dispatched and some other short films. And
Nice.
yeah, I think the most I when I first put them up, they were getting a little traffic, and I think the most that I made from them was like $100. So not too bad, better than YouTube. In fact, you'd have to do a great deal on YouTube to make $100, from my understanding. But now it's just like $30 here or 25 or whatever, and it's not a lot of money. But I don't care. I don't.
We're canceled. Cancel culture. We're
And
canceled.
we're back.
We're back. Uncanceled.
They should fix the timing on that.
Unshun.
But this is part of the show now.
It is part of the show now. We go dark every 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It seems
Have
like.
we been talking that long already?
I don't know.
At least 30 minutes.
It's like
but-
45 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. We haven't accomplished anything.
Yeah, the blog thing has been kind of like that too, but it's in the black. It's earning money. It costs you so much to host it, but I'm making more than I'm hosting. So.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing is I get a little bit of money. So I had AdSense money built up from my last blog,
Okay.
but you had to get like $100. So I never reached $100.
Oh no, it's like
But now
Kickstarter, but
Now with my new one, I'm like generating money for that again. I make money on Amazon affiliate links, so I link to stuff that I use and recommend. I'm really strict about it. I will not link to things I don't believe in.
you want what they like.
That I don't believe in or don't like. Yeah. It's gotta be something I use personally. Like I have, for the biking side of it, I have a post that's all about the gear that I use for biking, whether it's clothing or bike gloves and stuff, and it's all stuff I use and like.
Right.
So you get a little bit from that, and have referral links to some of the services I use, like Ting or Wealthfront for my investments. And so if I refer people, I get benefits from that, so that I can add that into the income side. Because it's either money I'm not spending in some way, or it's credit going to something, a bill I pay. So so it's going. I mean, it's only been was it been 6 months now since April? So yeah, about 6 months, and it's already in the black. So I've heard people go for a couple of years before they get in the black. So I think it's going well.
Wow.
And but it's not like I'm not gonna quit my job or anything.
No, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And I give a lot of credit to people that are able to actually quit their jobs and do things like YouTubers who can do that full time. I don't. So I was working on Backpack Buddies.
Yeah.
And I had a number.
We didn't get to Backpack Buddies.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it real quick.
You should explain what Backpack Buddies is before we.
Okay. So Backpack Buddies is a show on YouTube where my friend Randy and I go and explore abandoned places, and sometimes we will give you real true facts, and other times we just make stuff up. Because if we go into a house and we don't know anything, we just make something up just to entertain you, but we're still showing you abandoned property.
Yeah, so this is like a show on this is like urban exploring, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Urban exploring. There you go. There's a very simple way of putting it.
And so Randy was already doing this on his own.
Yeah, he was doing his own kind of urban exploring, and then I came in and I'm like, let's lively things up.
You kind of stole it from him, basically.
Well, he wanted to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't steal it because he
I'm
wanted
just
to do it, but he wanted to do it comedy, a little higher quality, these kind of things. So I'm like, all right, let's give this a shot.
So Timmy was shooting on like an iPhone or something.
Right, compared to shooting on crap.
I like that he went to the mall in one of his videos.
Oh yeah, because basically the Wausome Mall is abandoned.
It's like an abandoned building show, and he walks through the mall.
Yeah.
Clever Randy. Yeah, so what were you gonna say about this show now? Because I think it's pretty cool.
It's been fun, and I have a few more episodes shot. But going back to giving credit to YouTubers who can do that full time, I had a few episodes like ready to go before I even released the first one, and I think I was able to get 6 in every week. For 6 weeks, I had one every week, and then life takes over, and then I haven't been able to get to the other ones to edit them. But we have a number of them filmed. In fact, I think we have like 5 more or 4 more filmed.
Are you doing them in seasons?
That's what we wanted to do. Is we wanted to have like 12 for the first season. But I think we'll just kind of wait till after winter, and then I'll just bring back the other ones that we did.
So it'll be more like the first half of the season and the second half. Some TV shows do that.
Yeah, yeah. But when you're doing 6 episodes that are like 3 minutes apiece, it's not like
Yeah.
But it seems like there was a little bit of an audience for it, and people were watching, so that was exciting. And it wasn't like even 1,000 like views, but we were up to like to 300, which is like could be pretty good. There's like 300,000 watching this, but
Yeah, I know it's a big audience. So
yeah,
don't be nervous. or
I am
anything.
nervous.
Yeah. And so basically, you're going to these abandoned sites. A lot of them, some of them are freshly abandoned. Some even
Yes.
aren't necessarily abandoned. Like you went to the Estonian church, which I'm super pissed that you didn't invite me along to. but
Oh,
I'm
I didn't
saying-
know that you wanted to go.
Dude, I've been talking about that place for how long?
I thought so. You've been there, right?
Yeah, I've
Oh.
been there. I was.
But you wanted to be in backpack buddies.
Well, I thought you would bring me with, since it's kind of my forte. I think I'm the one that alerted you to it too.
Oh, I had no idea. If you did, I wasn't
I
listening.
thought maybe. Oh, you son of a gun. Okay. Yeah, no, I was there with Bill Rebane.
Okay, sure, yeah.
That's a dude you should do a documentary on.
Oh yeah, I've
That
met
guy's-
him before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. That guy likes to smoke a lot.
He smokes a lot.
Yeah, it's just like nonstop. Sometimes 3 at any given time.
I think he smoked 3 or 4 cigarettes when I was there to take a photo of him.
Wasn't it cigars? He smoked cigars. Isn't that like a thin cigar that he smoked?
Oh, it might have been, yeah.
I don't want to get that right. I don't want to
That's
offend
true.
him or anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
His daughter reached out to me.
really?
Yeah, during last winter when I was doing all these videos, she had reached out to me, and it was basically just saying, "Hey, I like your work. My dad's Bill Rebane, blah blah blah," and like saying, like, "I'd like to work with you and maybe get my dad involved." And
Oh,
I was like,
nice.
"Oh, all right."
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So nothing came of that yet, huh?
No, but I do have her contact
That's
information, so
Dude, that'd be cool.
maybe.
Yeah, that guy's like, there's something different about him. Like when you're with him, you feel like he's a dude from another era. For
He
sure.
is a dude from another
He
era.
literally is.
I almost feel like when the giant spider invasion happened and it was a success, right?
Mhm.
I think that he never got out of it or something. Like he's still in
He hates that film.
it. Does he?
He hates it. Yeah.
But like he made so much money from it, and then he was able to
know.
make other movies with that
Yeah.
money. Like what was it? Well, I want to say, not Twisted Sister, but it was Twisted Metal, or what was that? He had a monster truck movie.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and it was filmed on Merrill, and like it was Twister's Revenge.
Sister's Revenge.
That's what it's called, Twister's
Wow.
Revenge, and yeah, it's about this like monster truck that is after people.
Huh.
And like there was a huge explosion in that one. They had this house, and I do believe the house it might have been in Gleason or Merrill area, but they blew that thing up in the movie. Like literally just boom, it was gone.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
I don't know if they built it for the movie, but wow.
That's awesome.
You gotta check out Twister's Revenge.
Twister's Revenge.
Twisted Sister's Revenge. No.
I still, you know what? I haven't actually seen the Giant Spider Invasion.
Oh, no?
We should have like a Bill Rebane festival here.
We
And
should
bring him
do,
down.
because the Mystery Science Theater, they did that where they watch it. We could do like an updated version.
That would be fun.
We could do that.
This could be like actually a second podcast for us.
No, like the watching
like
movies.
we watch
and-
movies and
yeah.
make comments
Did you
through
still
it.
ever see The Room?
You, me, and Randy, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Room. Which one is that? Is that a horror film?
No, that's with Tommy Wiseau, that movie about like the greatest worst movie ever made.
Oh, I read about that.
Yeah, you need to watch. I have a copy. I'll let you borrow it.
Okay, we gotta watch
It's a
that.
bootleg copy, but woo!
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounded horrible.
It is horrible, but it's like one of those movies that it's so bad that it's good to watch. Because you sit back and you're like, is this real? Like, what? A study came out. Because, you know what, I'll show some people like this, a bad movie, right? I'll be like, this is terrible, right? And they're just like, how can you watch this? I don't get it. I'm like, well, I don't know, I find it interesting that it's so bad, and like,
Right.
you can see all the story flaws, and like, wait a minute, how does this connect to that, and what are they trying to do here?
Well, the dividing lines, they have to be so bad.
They have to be so bad, yeah.
They can't just be like kind of bad. Then you're just like, oh, it's just a bad film.
Right.
And they're like really bad.
Yeah.
They're so bad that you can't stop watching.
Right, it's a train wreck, and the study came out saying that people who enjoy watching really bad films, that they're on like, apparently they're more intelligent.
Wow.
That's a real thing. I read that. And I'm like, wow, I'm smart.
Narcissist.
That's why we need to sell shirts with my face
Right.
on them.
And with the X through them, I'm saying. No, I assume you've seen Showgirls then.
Oh no, but I know about
No.
it. I have not seen that, but I know about it.
Man, yeah, I was listening to this NPR story about this guy who he watched Showgirls. He was like, God, that was terrible. And then like it just stuck with him for like a week, and he's like, I gotta see it again.
Yeah.
And then
That's exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then he eventually I think he started like some kind of festival for around the movie.
I can see that.
Like
It's
like
like
this
Trolls
thing
2.
where
It's
people-
right up there with Trolls 2.
Oh, that's a bad one too, huh?
There's a line, literally, this is it, like, so this guy is watching this troll eating somebody, and this is the line, and the camera's zooming in close, it's like, oh my god, they're eating her, then they're gonna eat me, no! That's actually the line, it's like, okay.
Did you ever see a film from the 80s called Gleeman the Cube?
No, I never even heard of that.
It's with, I think I got the title right. It's with Christian Slater, Tony Hawk is actually a bunch of skateboarders from like
Really?
the late 80s are in it.
Okay.
So it's a skateboarding movie, but it's a really fun movie to watch. But some of the lines are so bad. There's this Asian guy who I think the boss is trying to tell him something, or he thinks he's fooling him. So he goes, "Hey, don't give me a jerk off hand job." It's like, what?
Okay. All right.
There's like three or four lines that are just like so random. You know what else is good for that? Have you ever seen the old Super Friends cartoons?
No.
Like from
What?
like the 70s,
No,
like
no,
the
no,
60s
I
and
did
70s.
not.
Oh
No.
my god!
Super Friends.
Cartoon Network used to show these, and my friend and I we would stay up till like 2 a.m. watching these and just rolling on the floor laughing.
Wait a minute, is
Because
that
they're so bad. It's
Wait.
like Superman and Batman, like it's like the Justice League, but like, you know, they're produced like a long time ago.
Oh, okay. So what? That's not the same one from when I was a kid. There was this one where it looked like a Batman type character, and he was talking to like an insect.
Oh no, it's actually them.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's like
Okay.
it's
okay.
like Batman and Robin and, you know,
Okay.
Superman and Wonder Woman, but it's like it's so cheesy and bad that you can't stop laughing.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it didn't it aged horribly.
My stomach hurt from laughing so hard. They were so ridiculous.
I do like stuff that's so bad that it hurts.
Yeah. I think this would be fun. Like, you know, so you would have the podcast, and what you do is have a marker so people can watch it and then listen along. So you say like, oh, we're at the MGM and logo in 5, 4, 3 or something
There
like that.
we go. You know what you have to see, and I can't remember the name of it offhand, but I first saw this when I was a kid. It was on Turner Classic Movies, and it's these dogs that are dressed in human clothes, and this was filmed probably in the 1930s or 40s. And the dogs are dressed in human clothes, and they walk on their hind legs, and they do like, sometimes it looks like it's almost stop motion, because like the dog can't do that forever, so then they'd cut to get them to keep bouncing, and they would have like fake paws that would come up from time to time with them smoking cigars and stuff. This is where it gets really weird, because there's this one episode where the dog is having relations with the other dog, right?
Jesus.
But it's implied that it's rape, and these dogs are doing this. And I think at the time, again, 1930s for it, but the fact that this is even a thing that exists, you can find it on YouTube.
Ooh.
But it's like, wait a minute, how was this even okay?
Right.
Like, these dogs are doing. I was like, oh wow.
Dude, that sounds insane.
It is. No, you gotta watch it, and we should do mystery.
Dude,
Science.
Yeah, we should. Dude, did you ever see the Star Wars holiday special?
Yes, I have actually, and that's unbearable almost.
That's unbearable. It's like not. I don't think you can watch that and enjoy it, even from a.
No, that's
perspective.
like bad. Where it's like, I'm gonna turn this off now.
Yeah, there's like a 5-minute scene where it's like Chewbacca's family, and they're all speaking in Chewbacca's language.
Yep.
No translation.
I think Harrison Ford wanted that thing buried even because he's in it.
Oh, I bet he did.
And Carrie Fisher's in it too, and she's like doing like a musical number. It's like it's a Christmas special, but there's no real Christmas themes and no Christmas music. I mean, I think Chewie and the family have Christmas something going on, but
yeah, it's funny too because you turn it on, and I remember just hearing about it, and I don't think I heard about it like whatever I was reading or seeing didn't really explain like how bad it was. And so I'm just like, oh man, there's like an extra Star Wars thing I can watch. Cool, you know?
You're like,
you know,
cool.
Then you watch it and like at first you're like, oh man, this is great, more Star Wars. It's like unearthing a treasure here. And then 5 minutes in you're like, oh.
See, I get that George
man.
Lucas wanted to milk that for all it's worth, and it's just one of those things that I think that he really, like he was just getting money hungry because there are things. Okay, so, the little what are those? The little bears.
The Ewoks.
Ewoks, yeah. So originally the idea was that they were going to be a planet full of Wookiees.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, but he's just like, well, we want to appeal to the kids, and that brings in more revenue and more, and I get it. But it's like, can you imagine how cool that would have been? A planet of of Chewies or what are they called? Wookiees.
Wookiees, yeah.
Planet of Chewies, Wookiees, whatever. But yeah, but he wanted to go the cute route. And it's fine because they're still cute.
I really want to see. There were all these little side movies that they made back then that you never hear about. No one talks about them.
Like the Ewok movie?
Yeah, they were like Ewok movies.
Yeah, I remember watching that as a kid.
Weren't there more than one of them? Or
I don't know.
Wrong?
I know there was one because I recorded it on Disney Channel when I was a kid on VHS.
I remember liking it as a kid, but I never know how that stuff's gonna hold up.
A lot of it doesn't.
Have you ever had the experience where you watch a movie from your kid and it's like totally different than you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was a kid, I loved the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
Yeah.
I loved it. I would go to bed with it on, and I would hold the cassette tape with me everywhere.
In the theater, were you just like, oh man, Vanilla Ice? Wow.
Sadly, I didn't even get to see it in the theaters.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, the first time you watched it on video, were you like,
Vanilla Ice? I didn't care about Vanilla Ice.
No.
It was all about the turtles. But I would watch. I didn't like the first one a whole lot when I was a kid. The very first one.
Really?
Now it's swapped. The first one's so much better.
It's
yeah. But as a kid, so I get it when studios are like, we need to appeal to the kids because that's where all our money is selling toys and these kind of things. But I think you just, in the end, you got to just make quality. You can't sacrifice.
Did you see the first turtle film in the theater?
No, I didn't see. I don't even think I saw the third one. My parents were not taking me to those movies.
Were you ostracized?
Yes.
Dude, it was like a dividing line when I was in school. It was a dividing line. Like if you did not see it, there was like the kids who saw the Turtles movie and the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
And you were like outcast if you did not see the Turtles film.
See, but I saw them on VHS. I was just behind. But it was. They never really gave me.
That might not have been you're a few years younger than me, so maybe that didn't quite hit.
Yeah.
Like I was in like 5th or 6th grade, I think. So
yeah, because I was like kindergarten when Turtles were. So I was born in '85. So like Turtles really peaked, I think 90 or 91. That was like the height of their.
Yeah, so I would have been, maybe I was in like 4th grade or something. I was 79, born in 79, so yeah, I probably was a little bit older than that.
Yeah.
But it was like a divide, and I wanted to see it. It wasn't like I was seeing it out of grudge. Like I was big into, I love the Turtles
too. Yeah.
But it was, I didn't, my parents weren't gonna like go out and take me to this film just because I wanted to go. So I had to wait till I was like dropped off with my grandma.
Oh, okay. Like, Grandma, I want to go watch Turtles.
So poor grandma had to go watch Ninja Turtles.
She's like, what is this?
Can you imagine, like, you're born in, like, what was she born in the 30s or 20s or whatever?
Right, she was watching the dog stuff.
Yeah, right. I mean, can you imagine you grow up and, like, you're used to, like, Audrey Hepburn and,
Yeah, now you got this going
Grant and, like, film's still kind of like a thing you do once in a while and then going up to, like, the early 90s and you're watching these like people in turtle suits who are ninjas.
That's pure classic cinema that she's watching.
Right, exactly.
Oh, Audrey would be so disappointed.
I mean, I just wonder like I always wonder like what it's like for when I see elderly people now I always think like, what is it like for them just seeing this technology now and just they must be just baffled by it. I mean, I'm already getting to that age where it's like stuff comes out and I have to look it up. You know, I have to like put a real effort in. Like, there's something called TikTok now. I have no idea what that is.
There is, and the kids are all about it.
Kids are all about it. I don't know what it is.
You know,
by the time I figure out what it is, it'll be past already.
Yeah, you'll be like, look, I'm doing TikTok. It's like, oh my gosh, I saw yesterday.
So what am I gonna think like in 40 years, like with whatever technology they have? Good God, God knows, right?
Yeah, right.
Like,
exactly.
what is that gonna be like to just be like, dude? I remember when we didn't even have cell phones. The internet wasn't even around yet.
So it's gotten to this point, and it's kind of I don't even know how to describe how I feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some directors, they're making this movie. It's a war movie, and originally they wanted to.
Hey, keep talking. I'm gonna see if anyone's watching.
Yeah, they wanted to bring back Elvis Presley for the film. How are they going to do this? They were going to obviously CGI Elvis Presley.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, Elvis Presley has stated like, no, we don't want to do that. So they are going to bring back James Dean to be in this movie.
Really?
And they're going to have actors who are obviously going to play the part, but then they're going to CGI his face and bring James Dean back to life. And some people in the community are just like, they're disturbed by it. It's like, so we're taking opportunities away from other talent. I mean, James Dean has been dead since the 50s, right? But he's so iconic. They're thinking this is a ploy to get people into the movie theater, right?
Right.
So, but they're like, no, we have a good reason to bring back James Dean. It's like, well, 2 minutes ago you were going to bring back Elvis. So it sounds like this really is just a ploy to be like, wow, how did they do this? I want to see this. And they did it in the Star Wars movie. They brought back that old guy in Rogue One.
Oh, yeah.
But that was more for like nostalgic reasons, and he was in a Star Wars movie. James Dean has nothing to do with this war picture they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of bizarre, and that's what I mean. Like you're saying, where are we gonna be at? You know, like, are we gonna even have? Are we just gonna keep bringing back like actors that we used to love in movies to like bring money in? I mean, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, good point. Well, yeah, it's that whole technology is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can now like make people look like they said something they didn't say.
Oh well. Yeah.
So now, what does that do to video evidence of things? Like, you know.
Yeah, we can't tell if anything's real anymore. Mm-hmm. I start watching these paranormal videos on Travel Channel, and like they'll show these videos of like, oh, look at the doors closing, or this thing fell off the shelf. It's like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know if that's true.
Right. Well, you know what blows me away is like the fact that there are people now professionally playing video games, and even here in town, the tech school now has an esports varsity team.
Yep. They compete in the Winter Olympics or the Olympics, the Badger State Games. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
but they get that the medal. You know, they can.
So people watch these guys. Like, they go on YouTube and they watch other people play video games.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
And YouTube is like loaded with all kinds of videos like that. That's what Twitch is, right?
Twitch too, yeah.
That's what it is, basically, to watch people play video games.
You can do podcasts too. I almost thought they have like I think they call it like chatting and other stuff. Like, so people put their podcasts on Twitch.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Well, originally I thought what happened is that you could stream it to Twitch and then ship it over to YouTube, but I don't think it works that way.
YouTube would prevent anything from happening.
Right. Canceled again. Canceled.
And then you come back and then you have a different face and you're James Dean.
That'd be
like,
James Dean, right? That'd be an improvement. But apparently you can't do that. What you have to do is what they do is they stream it and they record the video. Mm-hmm. So these kids must be like putting a lot of money in this equipment, or they make their mom do it or something.
I just bought New Blue Effects. They do they have a lot of cool like effects, but one of the things they also do is have a lot of templates for lower thirds and graphics, and so I just bought some of that, and it was like I got a deal on it, but it was like $300.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just for this program to like, because I'm like, I want to have that, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, can you imagine? I see people on YouTube, and their parents must just like, whatever you need, sweetheart, you know, because I'm just like, I can't. It's not even easy for me to just blow $300 on something like that. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, some people are just fortunate because I never even having. I had to borrow camcorders when I was a kid to make movies, and thank God for public access.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah, we did that too. Not obviously not to the extent that you did. We just screwed around, but yeah, that resource was there. It was kind of cool.
But you can't do YouTube videos by just going to public access. You got to have your own stuff, especially if you're doing it every day. And
Oh yeah, no way could you.
Some of these people are
Well,
just
not a sustainable way anyway.
no.
I mean, you would run out of. You'd have to be going there every day.
I don't know where they find the time. I'll be honest, and that goes back to what I was saying before. It's like I give them a lot of credit because I'm just like I got other things to do, you know.
Well, I think a lot of these kids they must start it when they're teens, and then they just instead of getting a job, they start bringing in a little money from YouTube, and you know that's like their part-time job, so they don't have to get a job.
Yeah,
and then
a little money,
And then eventually, then it becomes it snowballs and becomes.
But there's only a select few that really like PewDiePie or whatever. Yeah,
It's
sure.
coming for you too, Jarrod.
Yeah. So he makes a lot of millions of dollars. I think a lot of money. But it doesn't just all come from his views. I mean, he gets sponsorships and he gets sells merch and whatever you got to do. But that is a full-time job. That's all he does. I think I'd get burned out. I think I would. I mean, I want to do something else because.
I just wonder. You must get used to being on camera.
I'm sure.
I mean, I get used to it here. Like I'm always really conscious that I'm on a podcast, and now with the video, I'm conscious that I'm on video. But then 10 minutes in, you're like, it's like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I forget. I do know that there's stuff here, but is anybody? Did you get any?
Oh, we had some watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they say anything?
It's your mom.
What?
Just kidding. I thought it was serious. Yeah, someone's watching.
Yay, friends.
I wonder if that's me because I'm.
Oh, I bet it is. It's just you.
I didn't shout it out like I did last time. I will have to remember to do that.
To shout out the name of the person watching.
Oh no! If they were, I would do that too. But to take the link right away and send it to Facebook.
Oh yeah, that was your problem.
But the main thing is I want it for replay value.
Yeah, replay.
I don't know if a lot of people are gonna watch it live on a Friday afternoon. Maybe.
That's true. They want to go
Saturday they might if they're bored, but I thought people could go back and watch it on.
Well, I can't wait.
They do too. They do watch it on here.
How long have we been talking?
Like an hour.
Wow, that's a long time.
Are you running behind, or you got time?
No, we're fine. But I'm starting to build up the bladder a little. It's getting full.
So you gotta go take a quick pit stop.
Well.
You can. I'll keep talking.
Oh, okay. Where's the bathroom?
We just go out the door and. I think it's right down the hall. You'll find it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you keep talking. Tell them about cool things.
I'll keep talking, because Jarrod has this film called Indie Guys, which came out, and then he has Dispatched, and this one's a great one. He plays a cop who's his boss is really mad at him, but then his boss decides he wants Jarrod's character to watch his daughter. Classic setup there, and of course she's being tracked by some mob characters or something. So he has to, and then he ends up falling in love with her. So then he's pretending he's in love with her, but he's also trying to fight off the bad guys. And that's pretty exciting. I've been wanting to talk about the stuff that's on this table. One of the things I really like. So this is a book by Dawn Anderson. I'm showing this to the camera here, and for those at home, I actually did the photography for this too. You can't really see it, but I assure you it's pretty cool. So Dawn's it's a poetry book. It's called World Stamp Poems. Poems inspired by international postage stamps. So it's a really great idea. And so I took this picture of her with holding up the little stamp, and she's kind of laughing right in front of the World Peace statue. It's pretty neat. It's really neat. She's got these stamps from all over the world. And so each page has, you can see it here for people watching at home or wherever you are. She's got the stamp, and then sometimes she has a picture. A lot of times she has a picture, and then she has the poem. And then she talks a little bit about it too, so it's pretty cool. I think she said that she hasn't published this yet, but I think she will pretty soon. So she was a guest. She was number 3. I want to have her back on too, because last time I had her on, we actually did it in Daly's. And it didn't go well because it was so noisy you could barely hear her, and she was such a great guest. So I want to have her back on. But I have to have a bunch of new people. How's the bathroom, Jarrod?
It was, well, I didn't really observe it real well. I was trying to get out of there.
You
So
went now, yeah, right.
my hands are still wet.
You feel good now, though?
Should have
Better?
washed them.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was my first bathroom break.
Well,
It's a
I
podcast.
wanted to be the
It's
first.
a podcast first.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. It's good you drank so much water, probably.
Well, yeah, it's so much.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you too because, so you have like no hope of being monetized on YouTube.
I think I'd have to create a new channel. I'm already up to like 700 subscribers, Brian. 700.
Oh wait, but that's the new one, right?
No, that's just
That's
my
the
old one.
That's the one you got jacked on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
sure.
not really worried about it, honestly. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, I think that I could make a case. Like once I have 1,000 subscribers and I have a video that does really well, I could probably make a case and like go to YouTube and be like, hey, look,
Yeah.
enough is enough.
Right. Come on, Google.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's nothing at this point that I'm like taking where it's like, I want this to be my life, a full-time career. No, I don't care.
Yeah, because you do a lot of freelance work, like.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told you this, but like I am gonna be doing videos full time for Midwest Communications.
Oh, no
now,
kidding.
So yeah.
Oh wow.
So that'll be exciting.
Wow.
So I won't be on the radio anymore.
Do you miss? Will you miss that?
I will not miss the third shift.
Yeah, you're gonna have like a day job. now,
Yeah,
right?
I'll have like a normal thing.
Because like 9 to 5 is kind of like you're gonna work whenever you need to work, depending on what they want you to film.
Right, and it's gonna be great because I'll be able to, go out in the field and like record thing, and I'm just doing what I love is the video thing, and I'm gonna be able to create, and that's really what it's all about. So.
That's awesome. So that's why I think this is important because all this work you did on YouTube, all the work you put into these films, like that gave you the skills that you have.
Oh,
now.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
YouTube monetization, whatever. I got a job.
Right. Hey, never hurts to have extra streams of income.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll still do it on the side.
do
I
it,
still
yeah.
love to do like backpack buddies and short
Mhm.
films, and I'll do that when I can. But
Speaking of backpack buddies, how does that work when you both have a? Do both your channels get credit for it, or how's that?
no, it's just on mine.
It's just on yours.
Forget Randy. It's not mine.
Screw him.
Yeah, we just decided I had more subscribers than Randy, so we're just like, I'll just put it on mine.
Oh, okay. I wondered how that worked.
Yeah, that's what it came
Well,
down
because
to.
that one YouTube show that Kim was on, I noticed like there were 2 seasons, and so I watched the first season. I'm like, oh cool, I'll subscribe to this guy to make sure I see the rest of them when they come out. And then there was season 2, but it was on someone else's channel.
For what now?
That was that.
Something that.
That was like Ask That Doctor so and so.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that lady
Yeah,
doctor.
okay,
She
yeah.
kind
That was on 2 separate channels?
It was on 2 different channels.
I didn't
yeah.
even know that.
And I was like, oh wait, did someone else steal it or like what happened? No, it was like the main actress hosted one of them, and this other guy or production company or whatever it was hosted like season 1. So they split them up. And I was
Did
like,
you
oh.
see when we did the Jackie Chan versus Bruce Lee thing that
Mhm.
someone did take that and put it on their channel to get views? And
I think you told me about
yeah,
that.
and it's gone now. I don't know if they
Mhm.
decided they better take it down or if YouTube said something, but I didn't really care that much. He was monetized and he was getting money, but I mean, what it's $1. I mean,
Yeah.
who cares? But like,
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, it's fine. It's getting out there. More people are watching. But yeah, I was like, what is how people are just stealing stuff and then put it on their channel, and
It's
like
really doing
he
that.
changed the text to say like he presented it. Like I think it was like.
So he was trying to be like, oh.
It's like, no, this is. But then Randy and I both commented, and I think it made him nervous. Like, well, they found it. I was like, of course we found it.
Oh my god.
Because we're always looking up our own stuff.
Well, so there's channels on there that I see that have like a few thousand to like even hundreds of thousands sometimes, where like all they do is they're taking clips from other people.
Yeah, and what I don't understand is how do the movie trailers, like they have the company that is doing the movie release the trailer, but then everybody takes it and then is just putting it all over the place. Like sometimes just the trailer. I get when they're doing like a reaction video. I sort of get it. It's also kind of stupid, but whatever, it works. It's getting more people to be like, wow, Billy really liked it. Did you see his reaction? And it's like never genuine. Like no one watches the trailer. I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone like.
You're right, yeah.
watching- It's just like I sit there and I watch a trailer and if something's funny, I might smile, but I'm never like, oh, wow.
There was one reaction video I actually I watched a few of these because it was these two guys and they were watching Bill Burr videos. It was these two black guys and they were just like, their reactions to Bill Burr were so, his comedy were so funny to me. Like, just because, like, what they picked up on and, like, how they picked up on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, it just cracked me up.
Well, there are certain things that it is funny to get other people's perspective on things.
But you know what's funny is, like, I see a lot of those on, if you go to, like, the YouTube's, like, or they're trending.
Yeah.
I will go through that entire thing and I will maybe find one video that looks appealing.
Sure.
These are not designed for me.
No.
These are not designed for the olds.
No, I don't think so. I think it's similar to like watching somebody else play a video game.
They do that too.
But I have found sometimes I find certain people who play entertaining. I do find it because
Yeah.
I'll come across somebody who's like, this guy's funny. He is fun, and you love to
Right.
see like they die and they just like won't give up. And I think that's the appeal. It's just like this guy's not giving up, man. He's just gonna do it.
Well, you know what my boss explained to me, because her kids like follow these YouTubers and they're like super into them. Like for them, it's like they're kind of like a surrogate Big Brother. Like it's where they get their sense of humor from.
Yes.
So they see
Yes.
them and they like they kind of glom on, and it's kind of like almost a cultural development for them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. Like it's not in a format that I would recognize. Like I might see that from a film or a TV show or something, or nowadays it's a podcast and stuff. But so that's that for them. Okay, I kind of get that.
You know what's up?
Still not appealing to me, but
Right. Similar to that, so my nephew, he loves Peppa Pig, right? And it's huge with the kids.
Huh.
They're saying that there are a number of kids now who are actually having this kind of weird American British accent because they watch so much
Really?
Peppa Pig.
That's crazy.
So I don't know, because and that's just like, well, like you said, it's like their personalities and everything come from the stuff that they watch.
Yeah. Well, when I remember when the Ninja Turtles movie came out, there were like it happened like 2 or 3 times where kids like went down into the sewers.
Oh, I wanted to go down this.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I know they're down there, man.
I had no conception that this is a sewer, man. You know, it flows through sewers, like
Yeah.
what their purpose is.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No, we were
But
just
yeah, it
like
was
the
so
turtles
cool.
are down there.
You know what? It was so cool because it was like this underground world where you could go hang out and be a ninja and
Yeah.
eat pizza. Like, can you imagine eating pizza in a sewer?
It's
You'd
disgusting.
be like,
It's like, oh, I dropped it. Don't worry about it. It's my second rule.
second rule. All right, 4 seconds. This is sewer. 4
Yeah,
seconds.
4 seconds.
Yeah,
Let's be
fair.
realistic here.
So, so you got this great job, and that's awesome. And
Yeah, I'm
that's-
excited.
Did that start yet, or is it?
I've done some stuff, but technically I haven't started the full-time position. But I've been doing some things for them, and I'm excited because I think, not only is it great to have a full-time job, but it's going to be
Yeah.
great because I get to like create videos for more people in the area
Right.
and
Right.
bring my skill set to them, and
Mhm.
hopefully I can help their businesses and help Midwest Communications, and it's just it's new for everybody, and I'm excited about it.
Nice. When's that start now? When do you actually transition
Technically,
into
the second.
the
December
second?
2nd,
Okay,
yeah.
great. That's awesome. I bet they're gonna put you on the holiday parade.
Oh, I hope not.
You
I
can be
just-
out there with me. It's freezing.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
gonna be in the parade?
No, I usually go. I go take photos, and that's where I
Oh,
practice
sure.
my. That's where I practice my motion blurs.
I walked in a Halloween parade in Minnesota,
Really?
actually. Yeah, but I was Mario.
Da, 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 da.
And the kids were great walking through, and they're like, Mario! And I would go and
That's awesome.
and they're like, jump!
Actually, it's funny that I bring up motion blurs because there was this photo on Politico of one of the people testifying in the Trump impeachment, and so this guy's walking, and there's this photo of him, and I'm like, this is a great photo. It's dynamic, and it's of a guy walking out of a hearing, and it's like, here's a good example of like how much work goes into a photo that most people wouldn't think about. So what he did is he's got the guy like completely sharp except his hand is making a little bit of a blur,
Sure.
and like the background is blurred, but it's not bokeh, it's like motion blur.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was thinking like, what did he have to do to get that photo? So he had to turn his shutter down.
Yeah.
So he was shooting super slow, just the right amount, and then he had to track this guy perfectly. Probably used a tripod or a monopod, but tracked him perfectly so that he's sharp, and the rest of everyone else is like just got that slight motion blur to it, and it makes it super dynamic.
Yeah.
But then I thought, what a risky shot. And he must have had a bunch of safety shots. So he's like, okay, if this one doesn't work out, I got ones that'll work, right? So this AP photographer.
Okay.
But he like nailed this shot. I'm like, I bet 99.9% of the people, they might think, wow, cool. They won't even think about it. They'll realize it's a high quality shot somewhere inside their brain. Most people don't think about how much goes into just that
approach.
Something that seems simple if you don't know any better.
Do you, in a situation like that, do you have two cameras, one that you quickly snap, or it's just like, okay, I have this as a safety, and then you have the other one set for like in these settings? I mean, I don't know, but
A lot of those guys usually carry two cameras, but what they do is they carry it's usually to have two different lenses. Probably they're shooting a 24 to 70 like I have, which is a good like workhorse lens.
Yeah.
You can get a nice portrait out of it. You can get a decent wide angle, and with that, hearing like that, they're probably also carrying like a telephoto so they can get a real sharp shot. Because they're probably gonna have to do it from far away. They probably can't get that close.
Right.
You'll see that at the you'll see that at if you watch the sidelines of like the Packers game or something.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
You'll see two cameras there too, and what they usually have is a really long telephoto, and then they got a wide angle sitting on their hips so they can pull that out right before they crash into them.
Yeah. Those lenses are massive. Just so
The telephotos,
massive.
Yeah,
It's
they're like they're like when the lens has its own stand. That's when you know it's serious.
That's when you know it's a big deal.
And expensive. It'd be really interesting to shoot a Packer game or something like that.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah.
But then I probably would not do a good job. I'd just be watching the game.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh crap, that's right.
I wouldn't have the equipment for it.
No.
As you know, it's a really hard sport to shoot is volleyball.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because they're in the right position for a good photo for like less than a second. Like you really got to nail it. It's
but that's and I can see that's the case for any sport. I mean, like even when even football, like if a receiver is going up to catch a ball and you get that moment when the arm is fully extended and it's like that's a great shot.
Sports are tricky all around, I would say.
Do you though just like have it on rapid fire at that point, or?
For that I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what when I first started shooting, like I was saying, I had that D3, and that thing was like a machine gun. I mean, it's like
Yeah, you get like
do
3
like
or
these,
4 pictures.
You usually do like this like 3 second burst or 3 shot burst mode, so it's like 3 shots a second. So it's like and what it does is it's interesting because you look at pictures from that, and you'll see like one where the person's like kind of blinking, and then one where they're like perfect, and the next one they're like moved slightly, so you can really zero in. But I cover with that just by taking multiple photos at multiple angles. Mine still has a fairly rapid, but not that fast. Like not that
Right.
where it's almost like a machine gun kind of a thing going off. But
I have this like camera that just records nonstop. It's the video camera. You can just take a still from that.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Yeah, just that. No.
Well, anyway, so what's next film-wise before I let you go?
Oh man, I have no idea.
Nothing on the docket. Just gonna get those.
I mean, I'm just acting in some other people's films, but nothing on my own.
Gonna get those Backpack Buddy episodes out.
I will get those out eventually. They have to be seen.
Any hint on which places you go next? Or is that
I
super
will
secret?
tell you that the next one that's going to come out is going to be the Ponderosa Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
We interesting some of the stuff we found in there, and we were able to get into the room that had caught on fire.
Oh really?
So we were in that room, and some of the things that were left behind is interesting.
Nice. I'm excited to see that one. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So.
I always watch them when they come out. I think they're great. And
And they're fun. Yeah. And I love getting dressed up for those. Like,
Yeah, I know you kind of do like an Indiana Jones DuckTales kind of a thing.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes me think DuckTales. I don't know why. Maybe it's the font you use for the Backpack Buddies. Part,
yeah,
but
it is. That's the. In fact, that's the DuckTales and the Indiana Jones font. It's exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
So.
that's awesome. Well, how can people find you if they want to find your work, Jarrod? How do they find you? YouTube? Like,
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I am on Facebook.
YouTube, you are Jarrod Crooks.
Jarrod Crooks. Just put in Jarrod Crooks.
And you spell it Jarrod, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Crooks, just like the bad guy.
Crooks like the bad guy.
CROOKS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook and YouTube. I am on Instagram as well. You just type in my name there. Otherwise, I go by the Fan Man or the .fan.man.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I like a lot of stuff. I'm a fan of everything.
I do. Well, I'm BC Kowalski. You can find me at BC of Frugal Wheels on Facebook. I might have to change that now. I got the podcast back up and running. On YouTube, Keep It Wausome. And what else I got? Instagram. I think I put Frugal Wheels for Instagram.
You have Twitter.
Too. I have Twitter. BC Kowalski on Twitter. Very exciting. So my thing is I make all the guests sign out by saying Keep It Wausome. So keep it Wausome, Jarrod.
All right, keep it Wausome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I speak last.
Oh. My bad.